Hi, folks. Welcome to this virtual edition of the Fall Open House. You're here today to learn about engineering at the U of R, so let's jump into it. First things first, my name is Kavina. I'm the coordinator of engineering outreach for the Faculty of Engineering. So I'm going to take you through some information about our programs at the U of R. Now, through this virtual platform, and perhaps linked in the description of this video, we'll have electronic copies of the program brochures. So we have 5 different engineering programs at the U of R. These brochures will have all the information about these programs specifically and all that technical information. So in this session right now, we're going to go over some of the more broad scope information and talk a little bit about our co-op programs, our labs, and other perks of our university. But definitely check out those brochures. So to kick things off, let's answer the most basic question: what engineering is. This is a question that often students, high school students, can't answer. So I like to talk about what engineering is, so that way, once you learn about it, you might realize it really is for you. So engineering, it's also known as an applied science. So you take the science and you apply it to design things, fix things, and improve things in our world to make our lives easier, safer, or sometimes just more fun. So that's what engineers do. I like to think about what kind of things were designed by engineers. Anything that you touch or interact with throughout the day was in fact designed by an engineer. So from the most basic things like our sports equipment to the more complex things like the cars we drive, the apps we use, they're all designed by an engineer. Now, my favorite example of this is talking about the pen, the clicky pen. It's something so basic, but it's gone through so many iterations in history. So engineers, what they do is they take designs and they test them, they improve them, then they redesign them, and they test them, evaluate them, improve them, redesign them. So they keep doing this testing, retest, design cycle until they get a product that is safer, easier, or more fun to use. Okay, and I also like to tell students you might be interested in engineering if you're interested in math, if you're interested in the sciences, if you're interested in arts and being creative. We definitely need engineers that can think outside the box. If you're interested in climate change or environmental impacts, we definitely need folks that work towards that. If you're interested in business and marketing, we definitely need engineers that know how to design things, but also sell them and get them into the hands of the consumers. So we need engineers with a broad scope of passions, interests, and experiences. So whatever you bring to the table will make you a unique and a successful engineer. There's a place for you here. So as I mentioned, there's 5 different engineering programs at the U of R: energy systems, software systems, environmental systems, electronic systems, and industrial systems. If you want to learn more about these, please check out our electronic brochures where you can get more information. What you might notice is the word systems is in each of these programs. We're going to discuss that in a few slides, what that systems means. Okay, so these 5 programs, you will most likely start in general engineering, and then after your first year, then you will go and choose which program you want to be in. So you might not know what program is best suits you for now, but you will start in general engineering to start things off. Okay. Some students, if you have an average of 90 or above coming into the program, you can choose which program you're most interested in, but most likely you'll start in general. So in this general, once you complete 6 courses and you complete a list of the core classes, engineering 100, 123, 140, and 100, and English 100, then you can fill out your major declaration form and choose which program best suits you. We have some students that come in and they know which program they're interested in right off the hop. But we have some students that come in and they're just interested in engineering. So they might have a little bit of trouble declaring which program they want to follow through with, but your professors, your lab instructors, your academic advisors, friends, and classmates will be there to help you make that decision. Okay, so regardless of which program you choose to pursue, the program structures are quite standard throughout all 5. So let's talk about that. So each program consists of 46 courses or classes, as you might know them as. So you take 46 classes, and this is broken up into 9 terms or 9 semesters. Okay, and so it's important to know that in engineering, the classes that you take in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year build on to each other. So you take them sequentially in a proper order because they will build on each other. So it's important to know, so you stay on top of your classes, because if you miss one or if you fail one, then it's kind of harder to keep progressing. So stay on top of your classes. One thing to know as well in the engineering program is you are required to take one summer term. So all students take a fall semester, a winter semester, and some programs where some other faculties, you have the summer off. But in engineering, you will have to complete one summer term. But you're with all your friends, and it's going to get you where you need to be. So it's not quite as daunting or as annoying as summer school might sound. Now, this also seems a little daunting, but what I'm showing you here is a list of those 46 courses that you will be taking in order to complete your degree, okay? So it even breaks it down by term. So in the fall term, it has a list of your courses, winter, list of courses. If you want to access these, you can scan this barcode here to access the academic calendar. Now, in each of these courses, if you want to learn more about what that course is going to look like, scan the course catalog here, the QR code on the right, and you can read a description of each of these courses. So this is a great way to visualize and conceptualize what your degree is going to look like. Okay, so let's talk about your very first term. You're going to come in the most likely the fall semester, and I'm going to show you the list of courses that you'll be taking. So you're going to take Chemistry 104, Engineering 123, Engineering 140, Math 110, and Math 122. So you'll take a full load, which is 5 classes at a time. And now a lot of students ask, oh, will I have time to work during my degree? Will I have time to play sports during my degree? And I like to tell them that doing a full course load is like having a full-time job. So let's break this down to see actually how much time you're going to spend at the U of R in the classes and that sort of thing. So for each class, you'll attend 3 hours worth of lectures per week. So that's 15 hours per week of lectures. You add up all those classes. Now, also, along with the lectures, some of the classes have a lab component. So you're going to take what you learned in the class and then apply it with actual hands-on activities, okay? So the labs, often 2 of those classes, so the Chemistry 104 and Engineering 123 have labs, and you'll complete 3 hours worth of lab content for each of these classes. So that's 6 hours per week of labs. Then also some terms you will be expected to attend seminars, which include some extra material. So for example, Math 110 has a seminar attached to it. And so in total, you'll have about 3 hours per week of seminars. So if we add this all up, you're going to spend in the classroom and in the labs about 24 hours per week there. Okay. Now, along with your classes and labs, you'll also be required to complete assignments and study for exams. So often we say that 1 hour of lecture works out to about 1 hour of coursework outside of the classroom. So if we take that into account, it's about 24 times 2, 48 to 50 hours per week of school. Okay. And 50 hours per week is pretty much a full-time job. Okay. So 50 hours per week does equate to about working full-time. Okay. Now, if this excites you, that's great. Working about 40 hours per week will prepare you for the workforce after your degree. But if this is a little scary and daunting, don't worry, because we have a program that's a bit more slowed down to give you a little more free time if you do want to work, if you have a family or other commitments. Okay. So the 4x4 program is a slowed down version of our full-time program, okay? So instead of 9 semesters, the classes are broken down into 11 semesters or 11 terms, okay? And so you'll be taking 4 classes instead of 5. The nice thing about this is you're not locked in. So if anytime you're ready to go back to a full course load, you can. This 4x4 program, though, you need to work really closely with your academic advisor so they can set you up with the right classes right away, so you don't miss some of the prerequisites for the future years. So work closely with your academic advisor, but this is definitely a great option. Okay, so a little bit more about the program structure. Like I said, the classes will be broken down into 9 semesters if you do full-time. So your first route is you can just take the classes, the courses, the labs, seminars, and complete your program. And this will take 3 years and 8 months, so 3.5 years, okay? Now there's some other routes you can go, which I highly recommend. First one is the co-op route. So how it works is in between your semesters, you're going to do these mini work terms. So after your third semester, you can begin these work terms. And so these short work terms will last between 4 to 8 months. And what you'll notice is to finish the program, it will take an extra year. So it'll take 4.5 years instead of 3.5 years. But trust me, the experience you get in these co-op programs is definitely worth it. And I'll talk more about the benefits of that in a second. There are some qualifications in order to be accepted into the co-op program. You'll work with your academic advisor to make sure that you do meet these qualifications. So some examples of where students have done their co-ops. We have Kaylee here. She worked in a potash mine. This guy, he worked at Enbridge doing pipeline design and maintenance. This guy worked in a steel plant. I believe it was Everaz. And then this student here, she worked in a mine in Alberta. So you don't even have to stay in Regina. You can just stay, you can go all across Canada, and even there's chances for international work terms as well. So instead of doing small work terms, you can also have an option to do an internship, which is one large co-op or internship at the end of your degree. So that is a work term that'll last 12 to 16 months instead of 4 to 8. And just like the co-op program, this will last an extra year as well. And so like I mentioned in the co-op, there are some qualifications that you do need to meet. And here are a list of some of the employers as well. 75%, if there's one thing you take away from this presentation, it's this number. So 75% of students get hired where they did their co-op when they finish their degree. So this is a great opportunity. If you do the co-op program or the internship, it's a great way to get your foot in the door, experience what it is to be an engineer. You also get paid for these co-ops, and then you also have a high chance of getting hired back after your degree. So please consider the co-op and internship program. It will extremely benefit you in the long run. All right, perks of the U of R. There are many universities that you can go to get a degree in engineering, but what separates the U of R apart from other universities is our systems approach to engineering. So remember at the beginning of this presentation, I mentioned that systems approach. All 5 of our programs are systems engineering. So what does that mean? Systems approach to engineering is an all-encompassing view of engineering. So not only are you going to learn the technical skills of what it means to be an engineer, you're also going to take classes in environmental studies, business, economics, so you can actually have a broad understanding of how your designs impact the environment, how we can get them on the market and in the hands of consumers. You have a much broader understanding of what it means to be an engineer. All right, another perk of the U of R is our student labs. We have so much lab equipment for you to get your hands on and to get you prepared for the workforce. All of our lab instructors too are experts in the field. Lots of them have worked in industry and are now coming back to share their experiences and their wisdom with you. Here's a quick glimpse at all of the labs that we have to offer. As you can see, there's so many gadgets and equipment that you'll get your hands on. And these are all very open concept labs to facilitate collaboration and communication between your peers. The last thing is our student groups and our clubs. We have so many opportunities to get you and all the rest of the engineering students working together, traveling. So this group went to Russia, this group went to the States, this group was in BC for engineering competitions. It looks great on a resume. It's a fun way to meet your peers and honestly have a good time. We also have the Regina Engineering Student Society. It's kind of like the SRC or the SLC of the faculty to get involved with some other cool events. So definitely scan this if you want to learn more about that. All right, that's all I have for you. Thanks for joining us today. Reach out to us if you have any questions at all. It can be the biggest or smallest question in the world. We're happy to answer them. My email's here. You can also email the engineering office and they can help you out as well. And then feel free to scan this QR code here with the new student info. That's all I have for you. Best of luck making your decision, and we hope to see you at the U of R.